Well, it's June, and the Sooners just landed a defensive line transfer portal commitment. And yeah, Todd Bates has done it. So maybe all the Todd Bates haters need to cut down a little bit. But guys, before we dive into it, before we jump into the defensive line commitment of DeJoun Terry, go ahead, jump down in the comments below. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. What's your opinion on the recent addition for Todd Bates and Brent Venables? Because listen, when you look at what the Oklahoma Sooners had on the defensive line, potentially what they might not have for the season. Yeah, this is a big one. So jump down in the comments below. Let me know y'all's thoughts. If you haven't already, go ahead, hit that like and hit the subscribe button. Okay, let's talk about it. The defensive line transfer from the University of Tennessee, DeJoun Terry. So, DeJoun Terry has played 4 seasons. Put it in perspective, he's played 2 at Kansas, 2019, 2020, and then ended up at Tennessee in 2021 and 2022. So, had his best years at Tennessee, but the years at Kansas must not be forgotten. Now, I like to look at it this way because it is almost like he's played 3 years because he played 2 years his freshman year, 7 games his sophomore year. So pretty much almost a full season there. So we're just going to say 3 seasons. So pretty much in 3 seasons worth of games. He has had 51 total tackles, 31 solo tackles, 8 tackles for loss, and 5 sacks. Now, you might be asking, well, why are we so excited about a guy that only has 51 total tackles in 3 seasons, 4 years? Okay, I'll tell you why. Because he's 6'4", 320 pounds. So, one, he's a big dude, right? And one of the things that you're looking for with a Brent Venables defense is he's going to be looking to run a 3-3-5. So, you need big defensive linemen to close the gaps. Well, that's what DeJoun Terry is going to be able to do. And when you watch his film and you watch what he was able to do at Tennessee, the guy just finds his way into the backfield. And that's something that I felt like OU did well at the beginning of the season. And then it kind of fell off a little bit towards the end of the season. And not sure what happened. Just not sure. Better competition. They were able to close those gaps a little bit with the defenders or what the deal was. All I know is the Oklahoma Sooners had a need for big, strong defensive linemen, especially if you're going to try to run the 3-3-5 again this year. Your edge is looking really good. Rondell Bothroyd. You have PJ Adebayor. You have Dasan McCullough. You have Reggie Grimes. You have Ethan Downs. You have our Mason Thomas out there. And on the inside, you have a Stripling. You have Grayson Halton. You have Isaiah Coe. I mean, you got guys, but you got Jordan Kelly. But you got Devon Sears, who, by the way, I'm actually kind of high on. I know a lot of you guys aren't, but I'm actually kind of high on Devon Sears. And then you've got Derek LeBlanc coming in as well, right? And so I look at what they had, and I go, not bad, not a bad core to start. But if you're the Oklahoma Sooners, you needed something. You needed depth. And I don't think Oklahoma just got a depth player here. I think they got a guy that could try to vie for a starting spot. This guy could come in and try to take somebody's job. He's seniored, right? And he's tenured. He knows what he's doing. He has the production. So you can imagine in a scheme with Todd Bates and Brent Venables, all this kid's going to do is eat. And if you're the Oklahoma Sooners and you're a fan of the Sooners, then you understand why you need a guy like this. So obviously, the Sooners are still potentially going to be looking at other guys. That's not a question. The question is, who could they potentially be looking at? And I've heard a couple names out there. And I've heard about the kid from Utah State. I can't think of his name at the moment. I know it's like PA or Piao. I'm always going to get people's names wrong. I'm terrible at it. there is a kid that I kind of like. And it's the 6'2", 320-pound sophomore from TCU, Doug Blue Ellie. And I like him because, well, he's got a lot of size again. Now, not a lot of production. The numbers aren't there. But a guy like that potentially come in and add more depth, make a difference, kind of like what Dejounte Terry did. Just doesn't have the numbers and the production behind him. You could also look at a guy like Shone Washington from the University of Georgia, another interior guy, a freshman, 6'4", 270 pounds. If you're the Oklahoma Sooners, you have to start getting big defensive linemen. And your interior guys have got to start either they got to be close to cracking 300 or they need to be 300. Now, when you look at the recruiting trail, Oklahoma is trying to make a move on the interior. That's one of the needs. That's one of the focuses that the Oklahoma Sooners are going to try to go after. You see it with David Stone. You see it with Williams Nwaneri, Nigel Smith, Joseph Ajone. I don't know why I just butchered that, but I did. Jaden Jackson, Dominic McKinley. These are all big interior defensive linemen. And here's the deal. Oklahoma is not going to hit on every single one of those, but they will get one of those guys. They will get one of them. And when they get one of them, they're going to get two of them. They'll probably get 2 to 3 of those guys that they really, really want, and then they'll fill it in. But at the end of the day, this is going to be a big defensive line class for Oklahoma because they understand the needs. They understand that the interior defensive line has been the problem, and they understand how to be able to go out there and fix it. Fans might not understand exactly why Todd Bates isn't hitting. But guess what? You're a fan. It's okay to not understand why the process is taking longer than what you want it. It's okay. You're not going to hit on every 5-star guy that you want to hit on. You're not going to hit on every top 100 player defensive lineman. It's just not going to happen. It's not realistic. Nick Saban in Alabama don't even do it. So give it time. Give Venables, give Todd Bates, give Miguel Chavis time. They're going to figure it out. This defensive line will be one of the best in the country. You see Clemson fans talk about it all the time and whatever streams we're on. So, guys, go ahead. Jump down in the comments below, and I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts? What are your opinions on the recent defensive line commitment of Dejounte Terry? And then what other defensive lineman do you think OU should potentially look at in the portal? Because, like I said, I like Doug Blue Ellie. I know a lot of the guys like that guy from Utah State. But I want to hear from you guys. Jump down in the comments below. Let me know who you think they should go out there and grab. And if you haven't already, go ahead, hit that like and hit that subscribe button.